Hello, it is very good to see you on today's Tutorial Tuesday. We are diving into chair pose. Hold back your groans for that one. Today we are going to find what we can love about this pose. I know a lot of people don't like this one. This is a very disliked pose, very controversial. But my goal for this quick little tutorial is to maybe find some love for this posture, make it feel as comfortable as we can in it, and find some fun variations to play around with, spice things up. Whenever you're ready, we can stand together at the top of the mat or wherever you choose, and we can start going over the alignment. Depending on which style of yoga you practice and what feels more comfortable in your body, some teachers cue it by standing feet together, toes together. Otherwise, if we want to step a little bit apart with our feet in line with our hips, we can do that as well. That is usually the version that I practice, maybe feet a little bit in closer together, but I don't like my feet all the way together. It is more of a strengthener of your quadriceps though. So depending on what you're looking for, maybe we play around with different variations on different dates. So whatever feet position we've chosen, we ground down through the feet, active in our arches, spreading the toes wide. Exhale, bend the knees, but sink the hips back. So we're already taking our hips back here. We pretend like we're sitting on a chair. This is where our arms reach up, big inhale. They help us to balance and stabilize our lower body. So as our lower body is sinking down and back, we want to make sure to not hyperextend the back by sinking the butt backwards, but by slightly kind of tucking in the tailbone there, thinking of a slight round in the lower back here, reaching the arms up, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. The elbows should be pointing in towards each other as the palms face together. So sinking even deeper into the hips, grounding down through the four corners of the feet. So the heels, the base of the foot, and the underneath the big toe and by the pinky. So if we want to check ourselves, we can lift up the toes, making sure that we are grounding through all four corners of the feet, sinking back. Use your breath. Gaze slightly up at the hands. And if this is too difficult, if this causes some imbalance or some dizziness, we can always gaze forward. But we're lengthening up from the base of the spine, finding beautiful long length, active in the legs. We're nice and strong. If you're doing it with me, you might already feel some burning in the quads there. Beautiful. Arms are long, reaching the fingertips up. Everything nice and strengthened. So as you can imagine, the benefits of this posture are a lot. So let's find some love for it today, shall we? As we are lengthening and stretching through the upper body, we're opening the chest wide, finding so much length in the arms, broadening of the chest, the upper back. The spine is being nice and decompressed. This is a great posture for if we've been sitting all day. So as we are lengthening the upper body, we're strengthening the lower body, even down at the base of our feet. The muscles on the tops of our feet, our ankles are being strengthened. We can feel it all the way up through the calves. We're utilizing these little stabilizer muscles. We can feel the burn of the quads as we sink lower, reaching the glutes back. We can feel these nice muscles turn on back there. So over time, as we practice this posture more and more, especially if we have some practices where we hold it, maybe for a few minutes or repeatedly come back to it, this pose will help improve your joint flexibility, mobility, your overall agility, overall body strength and toning. Pulling the navel into the spine, we are activating the abdominal muscles. So we're strengthening, toning the abdominal muscles, which we all want. There's nobody that doesn't want those more toned. We are aiding in the digestion process as well as circulating our own blood. We do strengthen the pelvis quite a lot. This is great for anyone who has any issues in the reproductive system, maybe some menstrual discomfort. This can also help with erectile dysfunction, can help bring some balance to the areas down there as we strengthen the pelvis and activate the root and sacral chakras, bringing us feelings of grounding, creativity, sexual expression. So with all of these spine lengthening, this pose really helps to correct some posture and can help relieve lower back pain if we make sure that our alignment is proper. So by proper alignment, we want to make sure our knees never extend way over. We should never feel a huge stretch in the front of the shins. It should be in the calf that we're strengthening as we're reaching backwards like we're sitting in a chair. If we need to hold ourselves up higher to enable this alignment, we will do that more than sink down and move forward. So making sure we're shifting our weight back, we want our knee, ankle, and heel in line with itself. So as we practice this posture, we practice stabilizing through our feet, toning our legs so we can sink back a little bit. And if we're just beginning, this may seem like, wow, I am never going to be there, but in time, you will. And until then, we can lift up a little bit. We can use the back of a chair or the wall for support. And as we are raising our arms up, broadening through the chest, we're thinking of lifting the heart center up. If this is really good for the diaphragm and opening up just everything in there, the lungs, everything, making it able to breathe easier. So as this posture deals a lot with the joints, if we have severe arthritis or any injuries or recent surgeries in the shoulders, hips, or ankles, we should avoid this pose or definitely ease into it and make sure to listen to your body. If we are suffering from any vertigo, migraines, dizziness, we may want to, high blood pressure, we may want to not do this pose as well, listening to yourself and your doctor, as the balance may cause a little bit of dizziness. So take caution. And if we are in our third trimester of pregnancy, we should skip this posture until a little bit down the road, as the weight of our beautiful womb can be a little bit much for the knees and the ankles, and we don't want to put all that pressure down there in the pelvis. So we have a few modifications if traditional chair pose is a little bit too intense at this time. If raising the arms up high impedes our balance, we can raise the arms in front of the chest, drop them to the thighs. We can also take our gaze from up to directly in front. Again, placing the palms on the thighs if our chest or our shoulders are not strong enough to hold our arms up. And then we can always use a wall or a chair for support. We can always place our bum here against the wall, kind of practicing leaning back, using the wall for direct support, or we can use the back of a chair, placing our hands on the back of a chair, my pretend little chair here. Traditional chair pose has a ton of fun little variations with the arms that we can do, and even with the legs as well. So let's start with traditional chair pose. We sink down. Our arms are up. We can sweep the arms behind us, airplane. We can take the hands to prayer. We can find our eagle arms. We also have a standing cat pose, rounding through the back, pressing the upper back up towards the ceiling, which takes us into a little standing cat-cow flow. We can take from chair pose, really activating the legs here. We have a few revolved variations that are super fun. So we can revolve easily by taking one arm behind and one in front. We can revolve with prayer hands, taking the outside elbow to the opposite knee, gaze up. We can extend this by opening the arms, reaching for the floor. Also have our fun half chair pose. I really love this one. Nice stretch, especially after using chair pose and flowing through to get a nice stretch in the glutes as well. Crossing one ankle over the knees, sinking down. Prayer hands. We can also find a nice twisty revolve of this. This one's a little bit difficult, so we move slowly, taking our opposite elbow to the outside of the other knee. Using your breath. This one's very difficult. Whoop. We can go the other way as well. My favorite variations, up on the tiptoes, which brings us down into little squats. We can do these on the tiptoes or flat foot. This is great for mobility of the hips and the ankles. We can take our hands behind and kind of take them overhead. Bear pose. So we would step the feet wider than hip width apart, sinking down like chair pose. Interlace the hands in front of the chest and push them forward as we round through the back. So we're pushing basically away as we take the chest close to the mat. Those are the variations that I have in my bucket, and I would love to know what your favorite one is down below, and if there's maybe a variation that you love that I missed. Thank you for joining me on another Tutorial Tuesday. I hope we were maybe able to find a little bit of fun in this pose that so many of us severely dislike. But that's all, and let me know what pose you would like to see for next week's tutorial down below, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.